Fibromyalgia is a syndrome of many symptoms, and the main one that I had in my life was pain. The pain level on a scale of 1 to 10 was many times 10, and that would leave me in bed. I described it as being run over by a Mack truck or a semi tractor trailer. But fibromyalgia is a neurological disorder that amplifies pain, but it also deals with your sensory, your hearing, your light. So you're very sensitive to light and to noise. At one time, I was wearing headphones to quieten the music at church. And so it's also your cognitive, your thinking ability. You search for words, you get lost, even though you've driven on a street hundreds of times. And then there's depression that may set in some people. Physically, it made me, there were times when I was confined to the bed. There were many times in the mornings where it would take much self-talk to get out of bed. And then once I would get out of bed, take a shower, go back to bed, talk myself out of bed again, get dressed, go back to bed, talk myself out, and go eat breakfast, go back to bed, and then talk myself out to get into the car and go to work. And so physically it was a very exhausting and trying time physically. Emotionally, I wondered about myself. I should have been able, I felt, to talk myself out of it and not dwell so much on the pain and the fatigue as well. Spiritually, it was one of the times that I would get up in the middle of the night, and I was in so much pain I couldn't sleep. And so I'd sit on the couch and I'd read the Psalms. And it made me press into the Lord, and it was a very close time with the Lord. And yet I questioned myself and my faith because I was not able to have enough faith to be healed. And so I questioned myself. I was on many prescriptions, including morphine. When that didn't work anymore, the doctor wanted to increase my dosage, but I refused, and so I withdrew from that, and I did go through mild withdrawals. Then I was on experimental type drugs and alternative medicine. The doctor finally, towards the end, before I was healed, the doctor wanted me to go on to disability and consider quitting my job for a less stressful job. So I knew that I was healed that night. As soon as I was prayed for. That night I went home. I did not take any pills, including sleeping pills, and I slept the night through till the next morning at 7 o'clock. That was the first night in many years that I had slept through the night. My life has changed tremendously. It's opened up new doors. The Lord's healing has just opened up so many doors to help other people. I have grown exponentially in my faith and in the knowledge that God has so many promises for me and for other Christians. These promises are physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And there's no limit to how close I can get to God, except my limitations. And He's given me a power now that I didn't have before. He's given me a boldness to speak to people much more directly, and to point people to Jesus. And you know, physically, I was healed November 21st, 2010. On New Year's Day, 2011, I was running on a beach, flying a kite. That would not have been possible with fibromyalgia. January 2011, that same month, Keith and I, my husband and I, went to San Francisco. We walked for miles up and down those hilly streets of San Francisco and up the crookedest street. In May 2011, just 6 months later, after being healed from fibromyalgia, I climbed halfway up the Great Wall of China. Impossible with fibromyalgia. I was at the most hopeless stage in my fibromyalgia before I came to the healing service. I was ready to quit my job. Okay? And I had what I thought were some visions from the Lord, some work He had for me to do in my job, but I wasn't able physically to do it then. So I was at my most hopeless stage. But I had been pressing into the Lord. I knew the scriptures on healing. I had read the books, Christ the Healer and Smith Wigglesworth, and all of those books on healing. I know God heals today. And I was healed. But I knew then that God still heals. And I knew that He had given us a promise 2 years prior that He was going to heal me. And so I thought, well, this could be the day. And nothing is impossible for God. And so there's always hope when you put your trust in the Lord.